Good evening, folks. What's up? It's your bro, Richard here. Today's video is now part 2 on the Lamborghini Diablo. Today I'll be talking to you about the different versions of the Diablo from the years 1990 to 1998. So from the early to late 90s. And then we got the facelift version of this car from 1999 up until the very early 2000s, like 2001. Then we got factory racing specials, concept cars, production, and then we pretty much it. But first, we gotta do it in order. So starting off with is the 1990 to 1998 version. So before I start, make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell. So hit the notification bell and hit all so you let it. So hit all so you let it when I make brand new uploads. All right. So without any further ado, let's begin. So 1990 to 1998. Here we go. So this is the base Diablo, so like the standard Diablo. So the Diablo was presented. So the Diablo was presented to the public for. Sorry, the Diablo was presented to the public. So the Diablo was presented to the public. The Diablo was presented to the public for sale on January 21st. So 21st of January 1990. So January 21st, 1990. So still like the very early 1990s still. So January 21st, January 21st, 1990. So late January, early 1990. Its power came from a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter DOHC dual or double overhead cam or dual overhead camshaft, four valves per cylinder version. So four valves per cylinder version. 4 valves per cylinder version. So 4 valves per cylinder version of the existing naturally aspirated V12 engine. So V12 engine. So V12 engine. So V12 engine and computer controlled multi-point fuel injection. So fuel injection producing a maximum output of 485 horsepower. So 485 horsepower. Pretty good. And 580 newton meters. 428, almost like 430 pound feet. So around 428 or 430. So let's round up. So the note says 428, but I just round up. It's like 430 pound feet of torque to reach a top speed of 202 miles an hour. That's the same top speed as the 2013 Shelby Mustang GT500 with a supercharged 662 horsepower 5.8 liter V8. But that engine came out until less than 20 years ago from that point in time. that came out in 2013. So its power came from a naturally aspirated 5.7-liter DOHC 4 valves per cylinder version of the existing V12 and computer-controlled multi-point fuel injection. Multi-point fuel injection, producing a maximum output of 485 horsepower and 580 newton meters. So 580 newton meters, 428 pound-feet of torque to reach a top speed of 202 miles an hour. So 202 miles an hour. The Diablo was rear-wheel drive, and the engine was mid-mounted and the engine was mid-mounted, so mounted in the middle to aid its weight balance. In other words, like to help it balance better. So the engine was mid-mounted to aid its weight balance. Automotor und Sport, which is abbreviated as AMS or AMUS or AM und S, is a German automobile magazine. Which is Automotor und Sport, something like that. I don't know. My German is completely weak. I'm not really good at German. But you can say some words in German. 1, 2, 3. Ja, nein. Autobahn. Auto. Los, which is go in German. I don't know much about German. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know much about the German language. Literally. Like, my German is not that good, I'll be honest with you. It's a bit weak, I'll be honest with you. So, the Diablo was a rear-wheel drive. So the Diablo was a rear-wheel drive, and the engine was mid-mounted to aid its weight balance. Automotor und Sport measured 0 to 64.5 seconds. 0 to 109. So 0 to 64.5. 0 to 16.4. So 0 to 4.5 seconds. So 0 to 64.5. 0 to 64.5 seconds. 0 to 109.3 and 0 to 124, 13.7. Imagine having like a quarter mile time, 13.7 seconds. And that'd be kind of interesting, 13.7 seconds. Imagine it was a quarter mile time. I mean, it's not, but it'd be kind of cool if it was. Anyways, so the Diablo came better equipped than the Countach, considering it was a bit more modern than the Countach. So the Diablo came better equipped than the Countach. Standard features included fully adjustable seats. So both fully adjustable seats and steering wheel, so you can adjust the seats and adjust the steering wheel, and power steering from 1993 onwards. And anti-lock brakes or ABS were not initially available, although they would eventually be used. A few other options are available, including a custom molded driver's seat. Custom molded driver's seat, a remote controlled CD changer and subwoofer, rear wing, a factory fitted luggage set, which is a $2,600 option priced. So it was priced at a like $2,600 option, and an exclusive Bruguette. Bruguette. I can't pronounce it well. It's spelled, but it's spelled B. So it's spelled B-R-E. B-R-E. Uh, G. So B-R-E-G-U-E-T. So which was a Swiss luxury watch, clock, and a jewelry manufacturer founded by Abraham Louis Breguet in Paris, so in Paris, in 1775. So that was 200 and math in this, less than 250 years ago. Wow, that is insane. So they had a time for the dash, which was priced at a ridiculously crazy $10,500. So $10,500. What? At that price as an option? What? What? Really? 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 That is just crazy. I mean, you could buy any normal car with that kind of price. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Just unrealistic, I'll tell you that. $10,500. Just crazy. Ten and a half. $10,500. Just mind blowing. Just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Anyways, next up we got is the Diablo Roadster concept car. So Diablo Roadster concept. Introduced at the 1992 Geneva Motor Show. So Geneva Motor Show. Motor Show. Um, the Diablo Roadster. So Diablo Roadster. So the Diablo Roadster. So Diablo Roadster concept show. So introduced at the 1992 Geneva Motor. Introduced at the 1992. So 1992 Geneva Motor Show. The Diablo Roadster concept showcased what a possible open top version of the car would look like. It's like a convertible version of this car. The roof was removed and the car the roof was removed and the car had a shorter visor in place of the windshield, which made its way to the doors, indicating the adaptation of the Barchetta. So the Barchetta. Oh, it says Barchetta, but it's pronounced Barchetta. So adaptation of the Barchetta. So Barchetta body style. I mean, there is one car that was called the Barchetta, the Fiat Barchetta, which is like this type of Italian Tudor convertible sports car, which I know very well. You've seen it in like Top Gear and the Cool Wall. It was like the older one, and then came the modern ones. And with that one, it was like the Riviera Special Edition. with red quilted leather and black paint, which was beautiful. I mean, 130 horsepower. You would beat a Mazda MX-5 or Miata, and a drag race, which that has like 110 horsepower, so 20 horsepower more than the MX-5, which was insane. And then up against the BMW Z3, which that had problems a lot because in the cylinders there was water in it. There was water in the cylinders. If you've seen that episode, you probably know. And they were going through Iraq, which they're not really like fond like with they're not really happy with the BBC going through their countries, well, across the borders actually, and they had to go to Bethlehem to the birthday of the baby Jesus, which that would be on Christmas Day, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but somewhere around there, I guess. So yeah, but if you guys seen that episode, I can't even talk. You would already know. So, anyways, back to the car. The roof was both so the roof was removed and so the roof was removed and the car had so the roof was removed and the car had a shortened visor in place. So visor in place of the windshield which made its way to the doors, indicating the adaptation. Indicating the adaptation of the Barchetta body style. The chassis was strengthened. The chassis was strengthened. So the chassis was strengthened. Um, so the chassis was much stronger in order to compensate for the loss of the roof, and the car featured many unique components. Some of which made their way to the later variants of the Diablo. Later versions of the Diablo. Later variants of the Diablo. Such components included larger air intakes near the rear wing and the sides of the car for better engine cooling, a visor mounted rear view mirror, uh, roll bars over the seat, so roll bars over the seats, unique wheels and body color of the car, and a unique engine cover, which included a tunnel in the middle for better airflow over the rear. So for better airflow over the rear view. So better airflow over the rear view mirror. The signature scissor doors. So the signature scissor doors. So scissor doors were retained despite the loss of the roof, and the interior became both more ergonomic and featured a unique two-tone beige color. Two-tone beige color. the concept the concept generated so the concept generated so the concept generated a positive response, pretty good, both among the public and demand among customers for such a car. So demand along customers for such a car. As the car was not intended for production. Um, so German tuner Koenig Specials, which is a German tuning house based in Munich. So Munich, in which is in Germany, which they call it München. So München specialized in mods to European luxury cars, but gained notability in both the 80s and 90s for their performance mods to Ferraris. I talk about this kind of special tuning company, which is quite interesting actually. So the next level, as the car wasn't intended for production, Germ, German German tuner, German tuner Koenig specials. So Koenig specials with Lambo's permission converted customer cars into replicas of the concept. So replicas of the concept cars. The cars featured different front and rear bumpers. So different front and rear bumpers, along with wheels than that of the concept, due to copyright issues, along with an upgraded engine. The conversion was no longer offered. No longer offered. No longer offered upon the request of Lambo. So upon the request of Lambo or Lamborghini, as the company introduced the Diablo VT. So Diablo VT Roadster, Diablo VT Road, Diablo VT Roadster in 1995. Speaking of the Diablo VT, we're on it right now. So next up, the Diablo VT. The Diablo VT was introduced in 1993. Although the VT differed from the standard Diablo in a number of ways. By far the most notable change was the addition of all-wheel drive. Pretty good. Better than rear-wheel drive because it gets much more grip, but it adds a bit more weight with all-wheel drive. It's a bit of a disadvantage. It has pros and cons, pluses and minuses to all-wheel drive. Yeah. So the Diablo VT was introduced in 1993. Year the SVT Cobra R Mustang came out at that year, 1993. Which is basically like the standard Fox body Mustang, but it was a little bit different. It's the same car, but with different upgrades to it. Anyways, the Diablo VT. So Diablo VT was introduced in 1993. So 1993. Although the VT differed from the standard Diablo, so regular Diablo in a number of ways. By far the most notable the most notable change was the addition of all-wheel drive. So all-wheel drive, which made use of a viscous center diff. So viscous center differential. Also known as a viscous coupling unit. which is a mechanical device which transfers both torque and rotation. So both torque and rotation by the medium of a viscous fluid, which is known as viscosity, which is a fluid. So it's basically known as viscosity of a fluid, which is a measure of its resistance to deform at a given rate. For liquids, it corresponds to the informal concept of thickness. For example, syrup has a higher viscosity than water. And viscosity is defined scientifically as a force multiplied by a time divided by an area. Thus, it's SI units, so International System of Units. So thus, it's SI units are Newton seconds per square meter or Pascal seconds. Alright. So back to Lambo. The Diablo VT was offered. So the Diablo VT was introduced in 1993. Although the VT differed, from the standard Diablo in a number of ways. By far, the most notable change was the addition of all-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive, if you want to call it. Doesn't matter. Which made use of a viscous header differential, a modified version of the LM002's four-wheel drive system. So a modified version of the LM002's four-wheel drive system. So four-wheel drive system, which I talked about yesterday or the day before. So LM002's four-wheel drive system. So four-wheel drive system. This provided the new nomenclature for the car. VT stands for viscous traction. So viscous traction. The new drivetrain could direct up to 25%, so a quarter of the torque to the front wheels to aid traction. To increase grip during rear wheel slip. So in case of the rear wheel starts to lose traction, rear wheel slip, or if you want a proper method, wheel spin. So during wheel spin for the rear tires, thus significantly improving the handling characteristics of the car. Other improvements, debuting on the VT included front air intakes. So air intakes below the front headlights. So below the headlights to improve brake cooling. Larger intakes in the rear arches. A more ergonomic interior with revised electronically adjustable dampers, also A.K.A. Revised active suspension. So active suspension, four piston brake calipers, four piston brake calipers, power steering, and minor engine refinements. Engine refinements. Engine refinements. Many of these improvements, save for the four wheel drive system. So four wheel drive system filtered down to the base, so standard Diablo, making the cars nearly identical visually. And next up we got is the Diablo SE30. So SE30. So SE30 and SE30 Giada. So next up we got is the Diablo SE30 and SE30 Giada. The Diablo SE30. So Diablo SE30 was introduced in 1993. So introduced in 1993. So 1993 as a limited production special model to commemorate the company's 30th anniversary. The engine received a boost to 523 horsepower. Pretty good, by means of a tuned fuel system, tuned fuel system, free flowing exhaust, free flowing exhaust, free flowing exhaust, and magnesium intake manifolds. Free flowing exhaust and magnesium intake manifolds. Magnesium intake manifolds. Magnesium intake manifolds. The car remained rear-wheel drive to save weight, which is good, and emitted the electrically adjustable shock absorbers, adjustable suspension on the VT model. So VT model was equipped with adjustable stiffness anti-roll bars, which could be controlled from the interior on the fly. Don't know what that means, but oh well. Possibly it's controlled inside. Possibly there are like controls inside, like in the interior, to adjust the suspension manually. The car's weight. So the car's weight was low. The car's weight was lowered by replacing the power glass side windows. So side windows with fixed plexiglass. So fixed plexiglass. It's a plexiglass. with a vent, small sliding vent window. So small sliding vent window, as on many race cars would have. So as on many race cars, and removing luxury features such as air conditioning, air conditioning, stereo, and power steering. Well, could have kept the power steering, because otherwise it's gonna be a pain to even turn. So air conditioning, stereo, and power steering. So I have power steering. So power steering, carbon fiber seats, with 4-point racing harnesses and a fire suppression system. Well, in other words, it's a fire extinguisher. Was added to the race nature of the vehicle. So added to the race nature of the car. On the outside, so exterior, the SE30 differed from other models. Other Diablo models with a revised front fascia. So revised revised front fascia featuring straked brake cooling ducts and a deeper spoiler, while the rear cooling ducts were changed to a vertical body color. So body color design. The raging bull. So the raging bull emblem was removed. So it was moved from the front of the luggage, like the front of from the front of the car, from the trunk of the car, or the boot of the car, which you keep all the storage in there, usually at the back, but because it's a supercar, we always keep it at the front. So always keep it at the front. So the Raging Bull emblem was moved from the front of the luggage lid to the nose panel. So to the nose panel of the car between the front indicators or front blinkers or front turn signals, if you want it in an easier way. The engine lid had slats covering the narrow rear window, with a larger rear wing. So while a larger rear wing was added, so a larger rear wing was installed. So installed as standard equipment. The single rear fog light, and rear backup light. So rear backup light, which had been on either side of the rear grille, were moved into the bumper. So moved into the bumper. So into the bumper. This change would be applied to all Diablo models across the lineup. Completing the exterior variations were special magnesium alloy wheels, SC30 badging, and a new metallic purple paint color. This could be changed upon request. Only 150 SE30 models, were built, and of these, about 15 were converted to Jata spec, although 28 Jata. So although 28 Jata kits were produced, the Jata was a factory mod was a factory mod, kit, designed to designed to convert the re so designed to convert the race ori- so uh, designed to convert the race orientated SE30 into an actual circuit racer, albeit at a cost of street at the cost of street legal operation. So street legal operation. There we go. A revised engine lid with two air ducts protruding above the roofline forced air into the intake system. So forced air into the intake system. A similar lid design would later be used on the Diablo SV model, with even more tuning of the Diablo's venerable V12. It had a power output of 595 horsepower. So 595 horsepower, pretty good. It's like 400 horsepower more than an early 90s Eagle Talon TSI all-wheel drive turbo. If you've seen Top Gear USA, then they had that car. Tanner Faust drove it, and Rutledge Wood drove a 1972 VW Transporter, which was known as the Bus, which had a broken engine by Adams' 1982 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham d'Elegance, which they used like those three cars as their college cars. From UC San Diego, Los Angeles, California, San Diego, California, all the way to San Felipe across Mexico. So if you've seen it, it's in Top Gear USA. So if you've seen it before, then you probably understand. What was it? So revised engine lid with two ducts protruding above the roofline, forced air into the intake system. A similar lid design would later be used on a Diablo SV model. So we're on our track. With even more tuning, of the Diablo's venerable V12. So venerable V12, it had a power output of 595 horsepower. Right, it was like nearly 600 horsepower. Pretty good. So 595 horsepower and 639. Right, it was like 640 newton meters, 471 pound-feet of torque. So 471 pound-feet of torque. So 640 newton meters, 470 pound-feet of torque. The rear view mirror from the interior. So rear view mirror from the interior was also removed because it's completely useless. Completely useless. Can't even talk. Completely useless. In conjunction, so the rearview mirror from the interior was also removed because it's completely useless. In conjunction with the revised engine lid. So revised engine lid or engine cover. Further adding to the race feeling. So the race feeling, it's like the racing feeling of the car. Next up, we got acceleration results, which was a test by Hot Rod Magazine. So let's get the results of what it did from these type of speeds in these type of times. Mainly important ones like 0 to 60, 0 to 100, quarter mile, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. And then we got to the best version of Diablo. Alright, so from it did 0 to 30 in 1.8 seconds, 0 to 60 3.3 seconds. So for acceleration, it did 0 to 30, so this is miles an hour. So 0 to 30 in 1.8 seconds, 0 to 60 3.3 seconds. So 0 to 60 3.3 seconds. 0 to 80 4.9 seconds, almost 5 seconds flat dead on. So 0 to 80 4.9 seconds. 0 to 100 7 seconds flat. 0 to 120 10 seconds flat. Even though it says 9.9, we'll just round up. It's like 10 seconds flat dead on almost. So 0 to 120 10 seconds flat, so it's almost a 10-second car. Quarter mile 11.4 seconds. So 11.4 seconds. So 11.4 seconds at 120. So 128.5. So 128.5 miles an hour. So 128.5 miles an hour. Less than 130 miles an hour technically, almost. Somewhere around there, but pretty good. And 30 to 120, so 30 to 120 miles, so 30 to 120 miles an hour. So 30 to 120 miles an hour in 8.1 seconds. Some older like 80s 90s hot hatches would do that kind of time for their 0 to 60 times 8.1 seconds. Not bad. All right, next up we got, which I think is probably the best version of this car, the Diablo SV, which is my most favorite variant of the Diablo. Like, literally, out of all the Diablo variants I would pick, I choose the SV version, because literally it's just literally like the best all-time version of this Lambo. The best version of the Diablo. Pretty cool. Okay, next. Alright, so now we're on the Diablo SV. The Diablo. Excuse me. The Diablo SV. So the Diablo SV was Diablo SV was introduced in 1995. So like the mid 90s at the Geneva Motor Show. So Geneva Motor Show, reviving the Super Veloce, which is what SV stands for, Super Veloce. Title first used on the first used on the Mura, so Mura SV, which I talked about a couple weeks ago, I think. The Mura, can't remember, but somewhere around there. So Mura SV. The SV is based. So the SV is based. So the SV is based on the standard Diablo. So the regular Diablo, and thus lacks the four-wheel drive system. So it lacks the four-wheel drive system of the VT. So got back to old school, like old-fashioned rear-wheel drive, which is perfect. So lacks the four-wheel drive system. Of the VT. A notable feature. So notable feature. So a notable feature. So a notable feature of the SV is an increase in power output to 510 horsepower. So 510 horsepower. So 510 horsepower at 7100 RPM. So 7100 RPM and 580. So 500. So 580. So 580. 580 newton meters. 400. So 580. So 580 newton meters. So 580 newton meters. So 580 newton meters. 430. 400. So 400. So 400. 430. 400. So 430 pound-feet of torque at 5,900 RPM. So 5,900 RPM. So 5,900 RPM, which paired with the rear-wheel drive layout. So paired with the rear drive layout can increase the likelihood of loss of traction. So loss of traction during hard driving. In other words, it would lose traction of the rear tires whilst you're driving with the car. So which paired with the rear wheel drive layout. So rear wheel drive layouts so layout can increase the likelihood of loss of traction. So it can increase the likelihood of loss of traction. So I would say a decrease. So a decrease of traction. Or decrease in grip during hard driving. Despite its higher power output, so higher power output, so despite its higher power output, so power output, the SV was priced. So SV was priced. So it was priced as an entry level model. So entry level model in the Diablo range. So Diablo range, falling below the standard Diablo by a small margin. It says small margin. An adjustable rear wing was installed. So an adjustable rear wing was installed as standard equipment and could be color matched to the car's either color matched to the car body, or if you want in the best way as possible, and this is one I go with, formed from carbon fiber, which I would go with, which was much better than putting gallons of paint onto it. Which, by the way, putting paint on the car will make the car heavier. My advice is this: if you want to paint the car, my advice is go with wrapping the car, because it's much lighter than putting gallons of paint on the car. So it can be either color matched to the car body, or formed from carbon fiber. And of those two options, I pick carbon fiber. So carbon fiber. So that's what I pick. Carbon fiber. Other exterior changes. So other exterior changes included black rear taillight surrounds. So rear taillight surrounds. So black rear taillight surrounds, repositioned rear fog light and reverse lights, as on the SE30. So as on the SE30, dual 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 front fog lights, rather than the quad styled rather than the quad style lights found on all previous models. Like for example, the mirror would probably have that. An extra set of front brake cooling ducts, an, an engine light or engine cover similar to that installed on the SE30 Jada, and optional SV decals from the sides of the car. The SV also featured larger diameter front brakes, 340 millimeters, 13 so 340 I keep saying newton almost, 340 millimeters, so 340 millimeters, 13.4 inches, almost 13.5 inches, and a corresponding increase in front wheel size to 18 inches. Crazy. in 1998, so in 1998, 1998, a limited 20 car, so a 20 car run, of the Diablo SV was produced exclusively for the US market and called the Monterey edition. Which reminds me of like the place in California. It's in Monterey, California almost. So called the Monterey edition. It's a Monterey edition. Which is pretty cool. So Monterey edition. The most notable feature of this edition. The most notable feature of this edition. Was the use of the SE30 slash VT roadster style of air intake. Roadster style of air intakes. Air intakes in front of the rear wheels. So in the front of the rear wheels, unlike the traditional and persisting SV style. Several of the cars. Several cars were painted in unusual vibrant colors. I said unusual vibrant colors. One Monterey edition. Featured in both upgraded engine and brakes. So engine and brakes was driven by Mario Andretti. So his full name is Mario Gabriel Andretti. So Andretti, born February 28th. So February 28th, 1940. So 1940, age 84, from Montana. It's like saying Montana, but taking out the A between the T and the N and replacing it with an O. Which that's how it's pronounced in Italian. Which means a town in the hills. And it's also pronounced as Motovan, which is a Croatian pronunciation. So from Montana in Istria in the Kingdom of Italy. Its current day is Motovan in Croatia. Which I might visit Croatia again. I used to go to Croatia. It was a lot of fun. So born February 28th, 1940, age 84, from Montana, Istria, Kingdom of Italy. Current day, Moldovan in Croatia. So Mario Gabriel Andretti, so Mario Andretti. So Mario Andretti is an American former race car driver. He's widely regarded among among the most successful drivers in the history of motorsports. He's one of only 3 drivers to have won races in F1 IndyCar. So F1 IndyCar, the World Sports Car Championship, and NASCAR. He's also won races in midget car racing, which is true. Well, that's how it's called. It's also called in Australia speed cars. So midget car racing, or I'll just call it speed cars racing, and sprint car racing. It says sprint car racing. So anyway, back to the Diablo. One Monterey edition. So Monterey edition, featuring both upgraded engine and brakes, was driven by Mario Andretti. Andretti. During the Lambo sponsored Running of the Bulls event. So Running of the Bulls event in California. Which is where I want to move to one day, California. Don't know when, but at some point I'll figure out when I want to go to California. This next one's going to surprise you all. NFS 3, or A.K.A. Need for Speed 3. Hot Pursuit, 1998 game Need for Speed 3. Need for Speed 3. Need for Speed 3. Hot Pursuit uses the Diablo SV as the cover car of the game. The Diablo became emblematic of the NFS franchise, making several appearances throughout the later entries in the series. So throughout the later entries in the series. And this car is also in Payback 2017. So Payback 2017. So 2017's version of Need for Speed Payback, which is the latest game I got in my Need for Speed collection. So far I got like 3. I got Rivals 2013, NFS 2015, and Payback 2017. So the Diablo became emblematic of the NFS franchise, making several appearances throughout the later entries in the series. Next up we got is the Diablo VT Roadster. So the VT Roadster edition of this car. Only 2 versions of this left, and we got specifications. that will be it for now. So making several appearances throughout the later entries in the series. Alright, next up we got is the Diablo VT Roadster. So the Diablo VT Roadster was introduced in December 1995. So December 1995, it featured a manually removable carbon fiber target top. So manually removable carbon fiber target top, or in other words, is a manually removable carbon fiber roof. So carbon fiber roof, which was stored above the engine lid when not in use. Besides the roof, the Roadster's body was altered. So body was altered from the fixed top VT model. So VT model. So VT model. So VT model in a number of ways. The front bumper was revised, replacing the quad rectangular headlight. So quad rectangular headlights. So replacing the quad rectangular head. So quad rectangular headlights. With two rectangular and two round units. So two rectangular and two round headlights. It's pretty cool. The brake cooling ducts removed inboard of the driving light, so inboard of the headlights, and changed to a strict design. So strict design. So design, while the rear ducts featured the vertical painted design. So painted design seen on the SE30. The engine lid was changed. So the engine lid was changed. The engine lid was changed substantially in order to provide proper ventilation. So in order to provide proper ventilation, it's like to help the car breathe a lot better. So provide proper ventilation. Ventilation when the roof panel was covering it. So roof panel was covering it. The Roadster also featured revised 17-inch wheels, and the air intakes on both the top and the sides were made larger than the coupe or the coupe version of the Diablo. For the 1998 Diablo SV, so for the 1998 Diablo SV, VT, so VT and VT Roadster. So SV, VT, and VT Roadster. The wheels were updated to 18 inches. So 18 inches to accommodate bigger brakes. So bigger brakes. So bigger brakes. So brakes, and the engine power output increased to 530 horsepower. Pretty good. engine power output raised to 530 horsepower by adding the VVT, variable valve timing system. Top speed was also raised to 208 kilometers an hour. So 208 kilo. So top speed was also raised to 208 miles an hour. So 208 miles an hour. And for 530 horsepower, it makes the same power as a Bentley Brooklands, I think. It's like this two-door version of the Bentley Anarch. So engine power output raised to 530 horsepower, same as a Bentley Brooklands. Batting the variable valve timing system. Top speed was also raised to 208 kilometers an hour. 3 miles an hour faster. So 3 miles an hour faster than the Porsche Carrera GT. Even though the Carrera GT wasn't made until less than 10 years later. So less than 10 years later after the Diablo first came out in production. So 208 miles an hour. Alright, last version. Just kidding. Last version is last one is the SV Roadster. And after that we get the specifications in the different graph, and then I'll end it there. Alright, so the next up is last one is the SV Roadster. Here we go. Let's finish this. During 1998, during 1998, Lambo sought to diversify the open top Diablo lineup. So Diablo lineup with the intro of a rear-wheel drive. Rear end of the Diablo VT Roadster. It's a Diablo VT Roadster. Dubbed the Diablo SV Roadster. The car combined the mechanical features offered on the Diablo S. So the car combined the mechanical features offered on the Diablo SV in the open top configuration of the Diablo VT Roadster. So VT Roadster. The model retained all the visual elements of the SV variant, including the distinctive front bumper side skirts and the larger rear wing along, rear wing along with the repositioned rear taillight. Rear taillights. Repositioned rear taillights. Repositioned rear taillights. Power up remained the same as the SV. Power up remained the same as the SV Coupe, or SV Coupe. So SV Coupe at 530 horsepower, same as a Bentley Brooklands. So 530 horsepower. So 530 horsepower. Only. Excuse me. Only. Take a deep breath. I'll do it one more time. I'll do another one just in case. There we go. Only one prototype of the SV Roadster was built before Lambo decided to halt the project due to the financial turmoil faced by the company. So financial turmoil faced by the company. So by the company as well as due to the financial turmoil faced by the company as well as a lack of interest in such a variant. when the Milanese distributor of Lambo, when the Milanese, Milan distributor of Milan distributor of Lambo, Emmanuel Conforti, came to know about this variant. Came to know about this variant. He requested then CEO Vittorio di Capua to commission one example for him. This resulted in a production example. Example of the SV Roadster being completed on the 6th, April, 6th of April, early April 1998. It was part of the late 90s, but still early 1998. So April 6th, 1998. In the signature, Giallo, let's call it Giallo Orion. So Giallo Orion, colors. So Giallo Orion. So Giallo Orion, color scheme with the SV decals on the sides of the car. On the sides of the car. So on the sides of the car, bearing the chassis number WLA 12960, which brought up the production of this variant to 2 units. Making it the rarest series production Lambo automobile ever built. Ever built. ever built. Okay, last part is specifications, and then I'll end it there. But before I do that, I just gotta get my charger real quick. I'll be back. There we go. Perfect. Is that perfect? Alright, last up, specifications, and then I'll end it there. Hold up. There we go, much better. I just had to sort my hair stuff because it's a bit crooked. Anyways, last part, specifications, and then I'll end it there. So we got these. How many we got? So 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 versions of these cars. So gonna do it in order. So we got specification. So specification level, production, engine, power, torque, drivetrain layouts, brakes, curb weight, and weight distribution. So no need to do engine for each and every one of them, because all of these have the exact same engine. They all have naturally aspirated 5.7 liter V12s, which makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so starting off with how many there are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 versions. So with the out of these 7 different versions, we're gonna start off with the base version, so standard Diablo. So it was so production was between 1990 1990 so 1990 to 1998. So 1990 to 1998. 1990 to 1998. 900 units. So 900 units were built. So 900 units were built. It made 485 horsepower. So 485 horsepower. 485 horsepower. So 485 horsepower. 580 newton meters. 428 pound-feet of torque. It was rear mid-engine, rear-wheel drive. It had Brembo servo-assisted 4-wheel brakes. So 4-wheel brake rotors, 13 millimeters. Not 13, sorry. 330 by 284 millimeters. So 330 by 284 millimeters. So 13 by 11.2 inch. So 13 by 11.2 inch. So 13 by 11.2 inches. Curb weight was 1,576 kilos, which is 3,474 pounds. Weight distribution was 41 to 41.59, so 41%, 41% front and 41% front and 59% rear. Next up is the VT version. So from 1993 to 1998, so 93 to 98, 400 builds, same power output, same torque. But this time it had it was rear mid engine. This time with four-wheel drive. So four-wheel drive, 45%. So 45% LSD at the rear, and 25. So 45%. 45% LSD at the rear, and 25. So 45% front. So wait, hold on. 45% rear and 25% front. Both sides with a limited slip LSD differential. So limited slip LSD differential. It's LSD differential. The brakes were exactly the same. However, in the rear, it was slightly bigger by 26 millimeters, by an inch bigger at the rear. And an increase in weight, 1,625 kilos, which is 3,583 pounds. So if I do the math on this, that's around 59 kilos, well, 60 kilos roughly. $109 pounds, well, 110 pounds roughly, more increased in weight. Weight distribution was 43%, 43% front, 57 rear. So 57 rear. So then the standard Diablo and the VT. Next up is the SE30. 1993, 1993, 150 were built, 25 for the US market, 523 horsepower. So a bit more power, so 523 horsepower. So that was 38 horsepower more than before. Pretty good. Same torque though. It's the same torque. And it was a rear mid engine and rear wheel drive. Same brakes, just 0.4 inches, 10 millimeters bigger at the front. Weighs in at 1,500. Not 1,500, sorry. Christ, where I left off? So hold on. So we're on SE30. So 1993, 150 were built. 25 for the US market. So 523 horsepower. The same 580 newton-meters, 428 pound-feet. So it's rear mid-engine, rear-wheel drive. The brakes are the same, Brembo servo-assisted 4-wheel brakes. 330 millimeters, 330 millimeters, 13-inch at the front, 310 millimeters, 12.2 inches at the rear. 1,451 kilos, 3,199, well, approximately 3,200 pounds. Pretty good, not bad. 41%, 41% front. Is it 41% front? Is it 41% front? And 59% rear. Is it 41% front and 59% rear for the weight distribution? Next up we got is the Diablo. So we got the Jada version. So next up is the Jada. So the Jada version. So Jada version of the Diablo. So Jada version of the Jada version of the Diablo SE30. so it was built. So it was in 1995. So from 1995, 28 of these kits were built. Same 5.7 liter V12, however, made a lot more power. Like 72 more than the standard SE30. So it's like 72 more than the standard SE30. It now makes 500, so 595 horsepower, nearly 600 horsepower. Pretty good. 600, so torque was increased a lot more, 640 newton meters. So 640 newton meters, 471 pound-feet of torque. That was an extra 43 pound-feet, 60 newton meters more than the standard one. It was a rear mid-engine, rear-wheel drive. Same brakes as the standard SE30. It was a tad bit lighter by 1 kilo, so it was like 1 kilo, 2 pounds lighter. So now it's in a 1,450 kilos approximately. 3,197. So 3,197 pounds. So then the Diablo SE30 Jada got 3 more. So next up we got is the SV version. But from 95 to 98, so 1995 to 1998, 250 were built. Made less power, 510 horsepower. So 510, so 510 horsepower. Now it has so slightly less torque, 580, so 580, 580 newton meters, 428 pound-feet of torque. Same rear engine, rear drive, same Brembo brakes. Much heavier, 1,576 kilos, 3,474 pounds. So 3,474 pounds. So 3,474 pounds. Weight distribution was 41% front. So 41% front, 59% rear. So that was the SV. Okay, two more. Now we got the VT Roadster edition. It's built in the same years, 95, 98. However, it was not 250 this time like the SV, but it was 200 units, so 50 less than the SV. Bit less power by, let's say, 25 horsepower less, so now makes 485 horsepower. So 485 horsepower. So 485 horsepower. Same torque as the SV, 580 newton meters. So 580 newton meters. Say 580 newton meters. 428 or like 430 pound-feet of torque. Rear mid-engine, so this time it was rear mid-engine four-wheel drive. So 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 four-wheel drive. 45% front. So 45% front. No, sorry. 45% rear. So 45% rear, and so 45% rear and 25% front, both with LSD differentials. So both with limited slip LSD differentials. At Brembo, so same Brembo brakes as the SV, however, by 10 millimeters, 0.4, so 0.4 inches smaller than the SV version. Bit heavier. So 1,625 kilos, 3,583 pounds. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40. 49 kilos. So 49 kilos, 109 pounds heavier than the SV version of this car. So 47% front, so 47% front, 53% rear. So then the SV, the VT Roadster. And last but certainly not the very least, is the convertible version of the SV, which is known as the SV Roadster. It's SV Roadster Edition. So it was 1998. So in 1998, only two were built. That's right, two. Two versions of that car were built. I don't know why, but God knows. So it makes a bit more power, by 25 horsepower more of an increase. So 510 horsepower. Say 510 horsepower. Say 510 horsepower. Um, 580 newton meters, 420 or 430 pound-feet of torque, ribbon engine, rear-wheel drive, same Brembo brakes, but this time just 10 millimeters, so 10 millimeters, 0.4 inches, 0.4 inches bigger than before, and it's much lighter than the VT Roadster. It's 1,576 kilos, which is 3,474 pounds. And that's, for the math on that, so 49, well, like 50 kilos in general, 109, well, roughly 110 pounds lighter. So lighter than before. Weight distribution not available, possibly the same as the VT Roadster. I don't know, but possibly the same. Alright, so done the SV Roadster. Alright, so that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. So for my next Diablo video will be about the facelifted versions of this car from 1999 to 2001. So 2001. So this is the next part of the Diablo video I'm doing. Focus. There we go. That's the next part I'm doing. After that I got factory racing specials. So I can't talk. Factory racing specials, concept cars, and production. Alright, so that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe. So like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted of when I make brand new uploads. So hit all so you're alerted of when I make. So hit all so you're alerted of when I make brand new. So hit all so you're alerted of when I. What? There we go. So hit all so you're alerted of when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe, have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So, I gotta go. Take care, folks. So, take care, folks. Stay safe out there. So, take care, folks. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys. And I'll see you guys soon. Good night. So, good night.